Hi everyone, and welcome to the Bream Fishing Project. In this episode, we're off to review the 2025 NS Rods Sunline Bream Classic Grand Final, brought to you by the Vic Bream Classics. Now, this one was held in Gippsland Lakes at Metung on the 22nd and 23rd of November in 2025, and another cracking event with some huge bags brought in and a couple of really, really good fish. All right, let's roll the intros and then I'll tell you how it all went down. Here we go.
Welcome to the Bream Fishing Project. This is where you need to be every Tuesday to find out all the latest tips and tricks to help you target bream on lures. You'll get to hear from some of Australia's elite bream competition anglers and see how they were able to achieve their results in competitions around the country. Now, here's your host, the 2019 Hobie Kayak Fishing World Champion, Andrew Deeth.
All right. So this was, like I said, another cracking event. Big bags, lots of stuff going on. It's quite a big show, and I'm just going to get straight into it. What I would say before I start is we did review the 2026 rounds in the last month's edition of the monthly report with Brett Geddes, which was the December edition. I'm not sure when this one's going to come out, so go back to December, and we did talk about all the different rounds coming up for the Vic Bream Classics. All right, in the fish activity and what have you, we had 79 in the fish activity wheel with a minor bite period at 5:40 a.m. through to 7:10 a.m. A major bite period at 1:06 p.m. through to 3:36. High tide was at 10:25 at 1.11, running down to a low at 6:43 p.m. at 0.34. On the Sunday, we had 67 in the fish activity wheel, minor bite period at 6:29 through to 7:59. with a high tide at 10:54 at 1.10, running down to a low tide at 7:34 at 0.33. Let's run through the divisions and then we'll get into the angler interviews. So as you'll hear, a little bit of weather conditions down there. For Team JML, they took out first place. And then into second place with Team Just Winging It, Chris and Jack coming in with 11.935. which was the same weight as the third team, Team Bluefin Plumbing, who also weighed in the same bag. But the way this one works here is it goes on count back. So biggest bag on day one wins, which turned out to be Team Just Winging It. They also took out the Sunline Best Bag with 6.965. The big brim went to Team JML Eco Gear, so Scott Cicluna and Mitchell Blomqvist, who weighed in official 1.82. The Zip Baits Monster Mover prize went to Team Apollo Bay Fishing Charters, Dan and Jarvis, and Phil Partington, who weighed a bag of 5 out of 5 brim, weighing 4.22 kilos, moving them 13 places up the leaderboard to finish in 30th position. The Junior Angler prize went to Dusty Trelaw from Team Hamilton Marine. And of course, the Miller Rogue, this is the one where they win a couple of rods. How good's this? Went to Team Apollo Bay Fishing Charters, Dan and Jarvis Kent plus Phil Partington, who caught the biggest flathead at 79 centimetres. They also crowned the Team of the Year. So the 2025 Club Marine Team of the Year went to Samurai Rods, Dan Mackerel and Declan Betts, along with the 2025 Shimano Junior Angler went to Angler of the Year, and MPW Junior Jackpot winner went to Jarvis Kent from Team Apollo Bay Fishing Charters. And finally, the 2025 Ruworks T-Spike Tinny Challenge winners went to Team Zero Technique, Josh Jeffrey and Connor Jackson. So there you go. That's the rundown. 20th year for the Vic Bream Classics. Cracking competition and a great event here. All right, let's get into the angler interviews. Here we go. Okay, so first up in a third place with a team dropping a 5.380 on the Saturday. Backing it up on Sunday with a big bag of 6.555, giving them a total of 10 fish for 11.935. And third place on Countback, I have Bluefin Plumbing, Tyler Breust, and Ben Hanscombe. Welcome back to the show, guys.
Hey, Andrew.
Andrew.
All right, it's pretty cool. So, Ben, mate, 2 years ago, we had this conversation, a little bit different out of Malakuta.
Yeah, not home soil, this one, a little bit further down the road. Great result. Weren't really expecting it, but yeah, we're going to take it, that's for sure.
A great result, and realistically 5 grams off second.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, still happy.
Very, very good. And Tyler, mate, how do you feel about stepping into the shoes of the great Bowen Joyner, mate?
Oh, it's a bit of pressure on me, actually. So
There's been a bit of pressure throughout the year from a few different people.
Fair enough.
It wasn't just quite the smoothest sailing. So we done all right.
Fair enough. I think I'm a bit disappointed, mate. I thought you should have been wearing the special pants.
No, we'll have to get a set made up, maybe.
We'll just get Bowen's flying down. Should be right.
Fair enough. All right, let's get into it, guys. So tell us about leading into this one. What did you guys do in terms of pre-fishing and preparation?
You go, Bluey.
Yeah, well, yes, what did we do? We went down, I think it was 3 weeks prior. Went down, had a bit of a pre-fish and sort of sussed out a few locations on where we had caught fish previously. And, yeah, I guess just sort of made a bit of a plan off that. We went... Our pre-fish day, actually in the comp, it wasn't very great at all. We struggled quite a lot. And then I guess on the first day, we struggled again, and it was sort of late in the afternoon. And then we went and fished weed banks, fished the flats just in Eagle Bay there. And, yeah, sort of last hour we caught fish and it sort of helped us. And, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And did you guys crack onto any patterns then? Was there any lures or anything you went, okay, this is going to be our plan?
When we went down a couple of weeks earlier, we were throwing a fair bit of different stuff, trying to work out what was going on. But mainly the sprats and the clone prawns were what were working for us, fairly lightly weighted. We had a bit of wind that day too, so we sort of keyed in that fish were sitting in shallow and in around weed beds. We tried a few other different things to no avail. We pretty much just locked in on that, hoping that was what was going to hold on for the comp come a couple of weeks' time. And, yeah, when we actually pre-fished it for the comp, like Tyler said, we struggled. We ran around all the zones. We caught fish. There was still fish there. We still marking them. We got the odd one here and there, but it was all small, no size. We were sort of, I don't know, we had an idea in our head that we were going to start at Eagle Point because we'd fished there in March as well and done quite well. And we did still get fish there on the pre-fish day. We're just going to start there and hope for the best, really.
Yeah, okay. And how do you, with the clone prawn, what colour were you running?
Just a jelly prawn colour. What were you running, Tyler?
No, I was chucking, I think it was the purple, but I chucked the sprat a lot more just in the cleaver and the hurricane hybrid. What is it? The prawn one?
The skim?
Skim. Yeah, that with the red eyes was also what I chucked quite a lot.
Okay.
Got a heap on a couple of weeks earlier on like Munro's paddle grub. It's about a 3-inch grub with a paddle tail, but couldn't really get them to eat that on pre-fish, so didn't really give it much time in the actual comp.
Yeah. I mean, look, I've never fished the system, but in doing the interviews, it seems like they do sometimes tune into different baits or different profiles.
Yeah.
I remember the last one I did, I think the clone prawn played into it quite a lot, so I'm not surprised to hear you guys talk about it.
Yep. Yeah, well, there's plenty of weed where we ended up fishing, so it sort of made a fair bit of sense to throw a prawn sort of lure around as well. I suppose a sprat imitates that fairly well too.
100%. All right, let's roll into comp day. So I looked before we started, you launched at Paynesville. And did you have a specific reason for that, or did you just not want to have anyone see you backing down the ramp?
So Paynesville is the closest ramp to where that Eagle Point flat is that we wanted to fish. We sort of ummed and ahed whether we launch at Metung and send it across and send it back, but we were a bit concerned with the weather that it was going to take us 5 hours to get back in our tiny little tinny. So, yeah, it just made sense to launch at Paynesville and just shoot straight across, really. It was a nice, easy run.
Yeah, I mean, I looked through the whole thing and I was really surprised. I was like, who else launched out of there? So
yeah, no one. It was just us on our own.
Yeah, pretty good. All right, tell us about your day. How'd you go about catching fish?
First up on the Saturday morning, we went across to Eagle Point, like just up a little bit, sort of, I don't know, K or something up from where we launched in the kayaks. And there's a flat, had a lot of weed and stuff on it. We're marking fish in there. Spent probably an hour there trying to get those fish to eat, but couldn't. We got one little one to put in the well, and that was it. We sort of kind of wanted the wind to like come up so we could come back to that spot. And we just decided we'd disappear around the corner to the Mitchell and up in the back of that area and sort of try and fill our bag over there. Instead, that was probably at about 8:30, something like that. We still only had one fish.
Right. Okay.
Went around the corner there, fished a few spots for nothing, and then we went across to one other spot where we got a couple of smaller fish the day before and managed to actually fill our bag there. We kind of keyed onto a little bit of a bite there for maybe an hour and got enough fish to fill the bag, which we were pretty happy about because we were worried we weren't going to get any for a while.
Yeah, right. What was it? Were you on clone prawns or sprats or cranks? Or?
Yeah, I was throwing the clone prawn. And what were you throwing there, Tyler?
Yeah, I think I was chucking the sprats around and a few jerk baits and stuff like that. But the bites that we had were just what I had were on the sprats, and then there was also the hybrid shrimp, which
we'll
probably talk about a bit more. But
we picked up. I had a hybrid shrimp tied on 3 pounds straight through, and I just randomly picked it up. We turned back and started drifting a little bit along this edge, and I threw it out, and it got plunked straight away. And it was a little bit over a kilo fish.
Nice.
That was one of the first 5 that went in the bag, and it was a fair bit bigger than everything else that we were getting off that edge. They were all around that sort of 600 gram.
Okay.
Sort of 600 to 700, and probably should have keyed in on that at that point and gone, well, that's probably what the bigger fish want, but it's hard to tell at the time. Just happy to get fish. Yeah, I think once we left that flat, it was probably 10 o'clock, 10:30. We sort of went over to another spot with some weed. We might have got one little upgrade there, but I think we were sort of both a little bit deflated, going, just need to wait for this wind. So we actually ducked back over to Paynesville at about 11 o'clock, thinking we'd just sort of skip some lures in some jetties and hope for the best, because we did actually get a nice fish on the first day on just a random jetty just around that area.
Okay.
So we went back in there and there was bugger all. So we probably spent half an hour in there, would you say, Tyler, and then come back out?
Yeah, and then we felt the wind come up pretty well, and so this isn't working for us, and then went straight back out.
Went straight back over to Eagle Point, where we sort of started the day. A lot more wind on that point that time. Fish were sort of in a bit shallow, we could see on the sounder. Yeah, there's a lot more cover for them up there then. So we sort of just started in a little bit out of the wind to no avail, and then we both went, well, let's go up to the point where it's really windy. And as soon as we went up there, Tyler can tell you what happened up there.
Yeah, we pretty well got up there. I think it was the first cast into the weed. I hooked a fish, dropped it, and then it would have been probably the cast straight after that. We got a 1.5, I think.
Right.
And then
big upgrade.
Yeah, so that chucked out a 400 grammer, something like that.
Big.
Yeah, right.
And then, probably 2 casts later, I think Ben got a fish, which was...
Yeah, it was about an 800 grammer, but it was still a lot better than what we had in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I probably straight after we landed that, I cast back in and got a 1.3, which, then by that time it was pretty well time to head back over to the Paynesville. So it was sort of time.
Make it sound like that happened really quick, but that was probably over a period of about 20 minutes by the time we culled the fish and fiddled around and stuff. And then, it was starting to get pretty sporty by that point, and we knew we had to run diagonal to the bloody chop and obviously drive back to Paynesville, so we sort of centred off that. Wishing we could have been there for another 20 minutes, but it's just the way it goes. That was our final bag at the end of the day. And that was, what was that, on clone prawns and sprats at that point? No hybrid shrimp that, Arvo?
No hybrid shrimp that day.
Okay. And so you were targeting the weed flats. Like, what are we looking at? Are you in like a metre of water, 2 metres of water? Like, what was it like?
Anything from about 1.2 into about 700, depending on where the tide was at. On that edge, there was sort of a bit of flow, depending on the stage of the day. And then the wind was pushing against the flow. And we were just targeting the edge of the weed beds. We got more in tune with it on the Sunday, but at that point, we were just, every time we seen a bit of weed, we were chucking at it. And as soon as you drag it off the weed or drag it along the side of the weed, it was getting a bite. You're either getting a fish or you're missing it, which is a shame we had to leave it like that, but it's just the way it goes.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, look, you ended up with 5.38 on the Saturday, which must have had you maybe in 8th.
Yeah,
something like that.
So still in touch, which I'm sure you would have been pretty happy with.
Yeah, well, it was better than what we had at bloody 11:30 when we come out of Paynesville, that's for sure.
Exactly. All right. So based on that, what was your plan for the Sunday?
We were basically just going to go straight back to that flat and nut it out. We knew change of conditions, the rain, We were hoping that it was going to be windier than what was forecast, but it turned out there was just enough wind on the surface with the cloud cover and the rain to the fish were still up there and still sort of doing what they were doing the day before. We had to work probably a little bit harder than what we were expecting to get them, but we still got plenty of fish on that Sunday, which was good. We're just going to go back there and sort of nut it out.
Okay. Tell us how it started. Like, obviously, you're in a reasonable position. Tell us how your first couple of fish came.
Yeah, so it was pretty well straight away.
Yeah, it took about 45 minutes to get our first one, I think.
Yeah, pretty early, and then we that was on the hybrid shrimp, I think.
Dunk. That was the big one.
Which was 1.7 or something like that, 1.69. And then what do we do? And then we just sort of drifted up to the point, right up to the point, then cast in, got a fish on the hybrid shrimp, and then I picked it up straight after that. And guess we'd say within 20 minutes after that, we just chucked the hybrid shrimp and went fish. Filled out the bag pretty early, and we're sitting in a good position. I
think 9:30 we had 5.5 kilos. That was our first 5 fish.
Wow, so you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, had 2 nice fish in the bag. I probably had 2 biggest fish in the bag in the first 5, which helped.
Okay. If you're throwing the hybrid shrimp, you got forward facing or?
Do, but I don't use it on the brim. It's on a pole. It's a pain in the bum to use, and I use in deep water fishing for mulloway. That's about it.
Okay, so then what I'm trying to get to is with the hybrid shrimp, how are you working it? Were you just throwing it into the edge of the weeds and just slow rolling, or what did it look like?
I would say I was probably using it like a jerk bait, just sort of throwing it out because they cast quite well, as you'd know. We were using them on straight through as well, just targeting the weed edge and just jerk it like a jerk bait. If it was shallower weed, rod tip up. If it was deeper weed, rod tip down sort of thing. And yeah, sometimes you'd feel them properly clunk it. Other times you'd just lift and there'd be weight. But we found over the day that if we were striking into the fish that we were missing most of them, pulling the hooks or whatever. But there was still enough. There was a few of them that hit them pretty hard that they must have just hooked themselves anyway, and we ended up getting them. But yeah, we probably caught, I don't know, we probably boated 15 fish on the hybrid shrimp and 5 or 6 on the dunk over the day, and then we couldn't get them to eat a plastic in the morning. And then when their wing got up in the arvo in the last sort of half an hour, we started getting a couple on plastics, but they were of a smaller caliber.
Yeah, right. That's really interesting. I wonder why that is. I mean, maybe there's a bit more prawn movement or bait fish movement when the wind gets up.
Yeah. I don't know. Like we kind of thought maybe it's the straight through because like the dunk, I was throwing the dunk on the straight through. We're throwing both the hybrid shrimps on the straight through, so we kind of put it down to that a little bit rather than the braid leader. But I mean, it could have just been the slower sink on the hybrid shrimp too, or the dunk just slowly tinking along the bottom. Not real sure there. It was working, so we weren't going to change it.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, like it didn't really matter how you worked it either. I probably worked it a lot slower. Well, I probably would have slow rolled it, whereas Ben didn't put as much action into it as what Ben did. I just sort of slow rolled off the flat, or off the weed, and sort of let it sit at the edge of the weed, and yeah.
But yeah, no. So we had a bag by about 9:30. We still had 3 fish that we wanted to get rid of, so we sort of just kept rotating that flat, moved around on the flat too a little bit. Worked out that if we'd sort of stay away from the weed and cast up on the weed rather than drift along the weed edge, which is what we initially were doing, we were getting more bites. So that kind of helped us later in the day because we ended up getting 3 better fish because our smallest fish on day 2 ended up being just under 1.2.
Yeah. I mean, you had a great bag, like 6.5 kilos is good in any system. And with the hybrid shrimp, were you both fishing the same colour? Or what colour was it?
The one I had tied on was just like the full. I only had a couple in box. Tyler doesn't even have any. I'm sure he'd be buying some now.
Bought half Australia out.
I think I gave him the brown one, and we took the hooks off the white one and put them on our lures when we got all our hooks sort of bundled up as well. I did have another one somewhere, but we couldn't find it, so that was just what we ended up throwing. Lucky we didn't lose any.
Yeah, okay. Very, very good. All right. And then in terms of upgrading, how'd you round your bag out?
We sort of just plucked a couple of fish each drift. I would say by 30, we might have had another one. I can't remember exactly what times our upgrades were. I know our last upgrade come about half an hour before we went to go back, which threw out I think it was a kilo fish for about that 1.2. And then we then started getting them on plastics, and we'll get more bites and we'll get more fish, but we were just sort of getting kilos and 1.1s and just turfing them back, thinking this would have been great yesterday instead of today. But
that was a win if you had got it yesterday. So
yeah, that's just the way it goes, isn't it?
It is.
Same sort of thing. We left them biting, but it's all good.
Yeah, no, that is very cool. All right. You made your way back. Tell me, in terms of the weigh-in, were you, did you weigh in before second place or did they weigh in after you, after Chris and Jack? I want to know whether you...
We were in the car because we had to come from Paynesville. We're allowed to put our key tag in at 2:30. So that gave us, we really pushed it on the first day and nearly missed the key tag drop because of that sporty weather. So we gave ourselves an extra 10 minutes to get back and we had plenty of time. So we were just sitting cruising in the car watching the weigh-in. And I think guys that were in first overnight, we seen what they weighed and we knew that was going to be close, but we didn't realise it was going to be that close. And then we actually seen right before we handed the key tag in the other guys that were doing well, the guys that won, Scotty and Mitch, and we knew they'd done us by a fair bit because they had that really, really good bag on day 2. But yeah, we were pretty stoked at that point. We just thought, wow, we might actually get a top 5 here. So to get third was even better.
Absolutely. All right. I reckon that's a pretty good account of the fishing. Let's move into, what did you get to take home for third place?
Yeah, it was 1,700. I think, 1,700. Yeah, it was a pretty good little prize.
Yeah.
Yep, split down the guts.
Absolutely. Very, very tidy.
Yeah, pays for the weekend.
All right. Well, look, last thing before we shoot off, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
Yeah, we were going to give a shout out to Tackle and Bream. They're very good and always sort of looking after both me and Ben, and obviously Ben and all the sponsors and stuff to the comps and the family, I suppose. Here you go, Ben.
Just like to thank you, Tyler, also known as Bluey, being my partner this year. Yeah, did have big shoes to fill, but you filled them very well. Would also attest to that. Yeah, thank the Hugs and Kisses here at home for letting us go fishing all the time. Tackle World and Rimula, Fraser Marine in Eden, they sort us out with gear and help us out with the boat and stuff like that, which is really good. Thank you for doing all this sort of stuff, Andrew.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank Vic Bream as well, because they've had 20 years now. I didn't realise it'd been that long. It's only been a few years for us, but it's been an awesome comp scene and we'll be doing it for more years to come, I'd reckon. So,
yeah.
Congratulations to all our other guys that done well and the winners. Well done.
Yeah, and look, that's fantastic, guys. Look, congratulations to you two. Third in a final is awesome. On count back it's kind of lucky and unlucky at the same time, but great result.
Thank you, Andrew.
All right, guys. Thanks again. I'll talk to you soon.
Righto. Cheers.
All right. So coming in second place, we have Team Just Winging It. They dropped 5 fish on the Saturday for 6.965, including a big brim of 1.59. Backed it up on the Sunday with another 5 fish bag of 4.970, giving them a total of 10 for 11.935. And second place on count back. With me, I have Chris and Jack Allwood. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks, Andrew.
How you going, Andrew? Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Listen, you guys have had a great end of the season. You must be both pretty pumped about that.
Yeah, it was good. We had a very slow start. So, yeah, it's good to actually catch up a bit, I suppose.
100%. And it's always good to do it in the big competitions. Like there's nothing like a grand final to come through with a good result.
Yeah, especially one day result. Second day a bit tougher, but anyway.
Yeah, mate. Day one was spectacular. That was a really great bag.
Yeah, it's definitely my best bag in a comp. So I was stoked with that.
Absolutely. And best bag for the comp. I just read that now. So you got the, what do they call it? The Sunline Best Bag. How good's that?
Yeah, stoked.
Very good. Very good. All right. Well, let's double back to pre-fishing. What did you guys do in preparation for this comp? And did you get down there for a pre-fish?
We only pre-fished on the Friday before the comp. So 7 hours away makes it a bit hard. But
yeah,
went out, floated around, found a few fish. And then, went like we've been doing the last probably 2 years together. I suppose we went and looked at different spots we've never fished before. And, just trying to have a few more irons in the fire of a place we think might work later on, different times. So it was interesting.
Did you dial in any type of lures like plastics or hard bodies?
Not really, no. No, we only caught a couple of fish on the pre-fish. So, yeah, it was not tough, but as I said, we didn't spend a lot of time. I've been there, going there for 20-odd years, so a couple of times a year you get a few ideas of where you should be and where you shouldn't be, but it doesn't always work, of course.
No, or sometimes it works day one and not as much on day two.
Yeah, well, yeah. The weather change is a tough one, but hey, everyone had the same problem.
That's right, and that's exactly how it is. Well, let's roll into comp day then. Tell us about how your day started. Like, what you get up to, I guess?
The start of the first day, we sort of headed over to the main area. We got fish on the pre-fish, which was over in Jones's Bay.
Okay.
And floated around there for, it would have been a couple of hours for nothing.
Oh, no.
We didn't see the fish that we'd seen on the sound of the day before. Didn't see anything moving around. So, yeah, that was a pretty tough start to the first day.
Okay. But this must have a turnaround because you come back with the biggest bag on day one. So where'd you move off to, or what'd you get up to?
We stayed around there for, as I said, a couple of hours or so. Sort of headed over towards the mouth of the Nico there. Usually been a good producing area for us. So, and same thing, just nothing there either.
Okay. Wow.
I think after that we might have moved out to Mitchell Reef and had a look around out there. And yeah, dead as well.
Okay. What time of the day are we up to?
It wasn't until maybe about 10:30 we decided to make the move over to Tambo snags.
Okay.
Headed over there and instantly started catching some massive salmon.
Nice. Okay. Well, something, I guess.
We thought, there's a bit of life here. But yeah, caught the first salmon and within a couple of casts got smashed again on the, I think that was on a hard body, that one, on the Daiwa spike.
Yeah, right.
And just came to the surface splashing around and went, it's another big salmon.
Okay.
And ended up being just over a kilo fish, kilo bream. So
okay, so that was the start to your comp in terms of fish.
That was the start, yeah. First fish about 11 o'clock.
Okay, so late but good.
Yeah, I think hybrid 85.
Yep.
Yeah, fished it around for a bit. Yeah, got the second one. Thought, this is good. Like, you rule as 40 centimetres and you're putting the fish cancer going. I was probably 42 or 3 fork, so happy days straight up.
Wow, 2 crackers.
Yeah, so then Jack hooks one, gets a smack and he goes, missed it. And then all of a sudden takes off. It's like, oh, yeah, great. Comes to the surface and got a bloody hook hanging out of its tail. It's like, oh, here we go.
Mind you, it was about a 1.3 or 1.4 kilo bream as well.
Right.
Getting pulled backwards towards the boat.
Okay.
Not good.
No, not great. And how'd that end up?
He was coming good for, maybe 2 or 3 metres, just dragging him across the surface. And then one kick of the tail and he was gone.
Oh, no.
So that hurt.
Yeah, that sort of sucked a bit.
Yeah, I think that was number 4, that one.
Yeah. And that potentially meant your bag would have been bigger.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, well, no, we had one in there that was 34 fork, I think. So
yeah, okay.
Replaced it with a 42 or 3. So, yeah, would have been nice, though. Don't worry about that.
And probably wouldn't have been so at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, when that was 3 or 4. But, yeah, it was pretty disappointing to see it go off into the sunset. It's like, oh, no.
Yeah. No, I'll keep casting.
Don't go and tell anyone else, all right? So, yeah, no, we got the 5th one about a bit after 12:30.
Okay.
And then got the upgrade just after that. And it's like, well, that's it. It's like, looking at the well, there's not much more we can really do.
Yeah.
So we guessed it for about 6.5, but a little bit solder than we thought, so that was good.
Absolutely. And the one you said that was off the back of the ruler, was that your kicker? Was that the 1.59?
No, nothing was under 40, so.
Right.
They're
under
all 44.
Yeah, wow.
So they're all about the same size. Yeah. Wasn't much in them.
Okay. And I said you had the spike and what was it, the Sprat 85? Were they your lures?
Yeah. Chubby and Dunk, I think, was the other. Yeah, so bit of a mix.
Taking a mixture of things. There's no one thing they were keying in on.
And every now and then get them bloody big salmon come through, so they were frustrating. But
yeah.
Yeah, well.
Was there any correlation with the salmon and the bream? Like, were the bream under the salmon?
No, they were in line with each other in about 2.5 foot of water.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we just all mixed through together. It was salmon one cast, bream the next. So
Okay, you never knew which.
no, I didn't know what it was going to be.
Well, after the first one, then Jack goes, "Oh, it's a salmon," and then he got the second one. He started manhandling and went, "No, we'll up a bit just in case it's not." Thank Christ he did. So yeah. But anyway, we give him a bit more respect after that.
Yeah, especially when you know there's some big bream out there.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, no, it's renowned for holding reasonable fish, but you normally don't pull 5 out of there.
No, and it's interesting. Like your start to the day was obviously slow, and for a grand final, you'd be that would be hard to take, I guess.
Yeah, nothing stresses me these days. I've been doing them long enough now, so it is what it is. You got 7 hours to catch them.
This is true.
You either get them or you don't.
That's right.
You've got to keep that mindset that they'll come and
Keep peppering different spots.
Yeah.
Rotate around, see what they want, where they are.
Okay, so you ended up with just under 7 kilos, so 6.965, which put you in first place overnight. Tell us about when you went back. Did you go and tie new leaders and change hooks, or what did you do in preparation for the Sunday?
Yeah, a couple. I think I tied 2 leaders and might have actually just changed lures, I think. Nothing major.
Nothing too drastic.
Work one day, don't work the next, didn't it?
You'd have to think so.
Knots held up.
Yeah. Are you tying FGs?
Yeah.
Okay. I must admit, that's when my tying, I used to change all my leaders, but once I went to FGs, I only changed the ones that I really used.
I don't know, it's too lazy. Just drink too much beer, either one of the two, but if they're scuffed or short, you got to do them, but yeah.
All right. Moving into Sunday, you guys headed off first. Tell us about how that went.
We don't have a very fast boat, so we cruised out and pulled up to the side and let everyone roar past us.
Fair enough.
We were the last ones there. Yeah.
So it really didn't make much of a change to the start of our day.
Okay.
It was good to leave off first, though.
Yeah. So it's got to be a good feeling. Did you head back to the Tambo?
Yeah, went back there, tried to do the rinse and repeat.
Okay. You got 5 fish, but how did it go?
Not as well as we were sort of hoping.
Yeah.
I can't remember the first one.
Yeah, first one's about 8, 8:15 or something like that. It's just, 34, 35 forker, and sort of just one here, one there, heap of big salad. We started moving in and out, trying to find where they moved, and got out, over a metre of water, and all of a sudden the salmon started smashing us pretty hard. So it was like, well, got to head back in and cruise through the trees trying to find them again, and found a few and got one good one, and we had our 5. I think we had 4. Then I got another one, but just absolutely smoking in the trees. Like, we were so surprised he didn't lose one the day before. So
okay.
To lose one that day, it was like, come in, leader's gone. It's like, oh shit, don't say me not to let me down. Pulled in, there was about 1.5 inches of leader hanging out of it. So it's like, well, that's a bonus.
Yep.
But fallen timber and stuff everywhere. Yeah, we're pretty lucky really to lose only one. So, but look, done all we could. Moved around. Just is what it is.
Yeah. And did they change what they took on the Sunday? Did they take different lures, or how'd that look?
Much the same, just the wind had changed 180 degrees. We had nice sun on the Saturday and it was pissed rain, and we had 20 mil for the day on Sunday. So, completely different days. And obviously we didn't adapt as well as the fish did, I suppose.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know what to do, those sort of conditions. Found a couple, but yeah.
Especially in comp days, like you're under that time pressure, especially as the day wears on and you're trying to find that one upgrade or whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you didn't have a lot more to go off either. Like even the pre-fish, we just sort of, we had 2 spots we caught fish and that was it.
Okay.
And those 2 spots worked on the Saturday morning. So it's like, right, just go back to the place we've caught them before.
Yeah. Well, that's where the experience on the system helps a lot.
Yeah, in and out of the river. Didn't catch bugger all in there, but so just fishing edges and trees and rocks and just trying to find those bigger fish, which sort of eluded us. But anyway, we're sort of surprised to hang on to nearly 5 kegs on the Sunday. So
it
was looking pretty grim there for a while.
Right. What sort of electronics are you running?
Hummingbird. So we had, we've got the old light scope.
Yeah.
It doesn't work in 6 foot of water, 3 foot of water.
Okay.
Not well.
Yeah, fair
So,
enough.
yeah, it was fine when we were over in the flats on the pre-fish. We were seeing fish everywhere. But when you go over there the next day and there's no fish anywhere, and then, like we would have done a 500 metre radius trying to find them Saturday morning. Yeah, nothing there. It's like, righto. So, yeah, the plans changed a fair bit.
Mm.
But, yeah, no, we did. Electronics played no part of it.
Okay.
Absolutely
Yeah.
none. More frustrating when you can see them.
Yes, especially when you can't get them.
Correct. So, still a good weekend.
Absolutely. Look, one more thing before we move off the fishing. What sort of leaders were you guys running for the weekend?
I had all 4 pound on.
Yeah, mostly 4 and 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So relatively light for particularly the Saturday bag.
Yeah.
To the stupid spot we were fishing. Yeah, you're right.
There you go.
You got to get the bite first, though.
You do.
So,
You do.
yeah. Have got smoked again Sunday, probably would have went to 6 pound, but, it's only lost one out of 13, 14 fish that, like good fish that we caught. So it's like, that's good enough.
Yeah, I was going to say that's pretty good going.
Yeah, for the terrain. She's pretty well forward drive country. So,
Yeah.
That's all right.
All right. Well, let's get into the wrap up. So you guys, like we said, you came in second place on count back. What did you get to take home for second place?
2,500 between us.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Definitely. All right. Well, look, last thing before we move off, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
Just Mrs. for letting me do this for the last 21 years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, she's been pretty forgiving over that. But yeah, look, it's always a grind, but like the guys we fish with, the guys we travel with are always great. All the Wongle boys, we have a ball together.
Yeah.
And it's just blokes you fish with and blokes you meet along the way. It's been great.
100%.
So
100%. And just doing the maths, if you've been doing it for 21 years, then Jack, you were like 10 or 11 when Dad started.
Yeah, that's correct. I was never allowed to go. I was too young.
Didn't have junior angler back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like the junior angler.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad thing.
No, I would have been all over that if I had that around when I was that age. It's an awesome idea.
I think so. Very good. And like I said, prior to hitting record it, and I've said many times, it's one of my favourite things to see father and sons or family fishing together. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, no, he has its moments. Don't worry about that.
Fair enough. All right, guys. Well, look, congratulations on second place. Thanks for coming on the show, and I'll talk to you again soon.
I certainly hope so, Andrew. It's been a while.
No worries. Thank you.
No worries, guys.
Thanks, mate.
All right, so coming in first place, we have a team dropping their 5 fish on the Saturday for 5.760, backing it up on the Sunday with 5 fish for 6.455, giving them a total weight of 12.215, which included the big brim for the comp at 1.82. With me, I have team JML Eco Gear Samaki, Scott Cicluna, and Mitchell Blomqvist. Welcome back, guys.
How you going? Thanks for having us.
That was a mouthful for me. I got a bit tongue twisted there. What a great win. You guys must, big comp, nice win, big brim in the bag. You must be still pumped.
We're over the moon, mate. I am. It's starting to sink in now that we've actually taken out a win together. And, it's pretty cool, pretty surreal. So, yeah.
Yeah. And it's to win a round is great. To win the grand final is just another level.
Yeah. It's still sinking in, but in the end, it's pretty cool to win a grand final together. And they're not easy to win. And, pretty stoked.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's roll into pre-fishing and getting ready for the comp. What did you guys get up to?
So we sort of discussed the night before a bit of a plan to cover a whole heap of ground. We had a bit of an idea where some good fish would be. Obviously, we'd fished the Vic Open not too long ago, but wanted to explore some other areas. So it was all about just fishing real quick and covering ground just to get a feel for it. So we headed down Jones's Bay area, Eagle Bay, through Paynesville, and then, probably halfway to Hollands, past Wattle Point and all that, just stopping 5 minutes, have a few flicks, just getting a real feel for it. Yeah, like it was real good. Scotty's new boat, the Legend, like he can just get around so quick in that thing. It's wicked. So, yeah, we caught a few fish on pre-fish, but weren't kind of expecting much. And, yeah, in the end, we got a plan for the next day.
Yeah. I mean, for you, Mitch, second in the ABT and fishing for those couple of days down there, obviously, it's a great pre-fish, even though it's a little bit earlier.
Yeah. You'll probably hear a bit later, but surprisingly enough, a few of them fish were hanging around still, so it was good.
Yeah, right. Okay. Let's roll into comp day. Tell us how your day started on the Saturday and where you headed off to.
So Saturday, we always look our game plan in comps. Like I said, pre-fish, we run around and nut a few areas, scope a few areas. We found a bank in Eagle Bay, of course, area, and we decided we stick to that area. Like we found a flat where on pre-fish we probably donged 2 or 3 fish. They weren't big, but they were a bag fillers, and so we decided to go there. Our game plan is to get our 5, and then once we get our 5, the area we're going to go to once the wind got up, but the wind didn't get up till probably 11:30, 12 o'clock. So we stuck to the same bank area and just kept picking up. So we probably had our 5 by 8:30, 9 o'clock, but then we slowly kept working around on a bank where we were working plastics. Okay, it was more we're finding weed openings and like weed bed and then broken ground and just flicking plastics in there. Like I tell you what it is, the Hurricane Sickle 85 was doing the damage that morning. But our plan was like, we said, Mitch, let's just get our 5 and then let's hope for the win and then let's go to our other side bank and where we know the big girls hopefully can come and play. We can get up to 11:30. Look, a lot of boats went through that bank area, but we said we're not worried about what other people are doing and what they're doing. If they're there, they're there. There's a few still on that bank, but we decided to go across there, say about 11:30 when the wind got up and went to a flat area, like a flat. And, yeah, the sounder decided to light up a little bit and there was a lot of big marks and that. And, look, that was about 12 o'clock and we only had like 4 kilos in the bag, didn't we? Like, seriously, we only had 4 kilos bag.
Okay.
I said, look, in the end, the girls are here. Let's have a bit of play. And I think it was one of those scenarios where we had the perspective live on Garmin. And I'm just telling you about the story about the big girl I got here, the big Bream.
Yeah.
And we were just fishing the flat on the bank side and that, and there was a few marks. We just weren't getting hit. And I looked in this perspective on the left-hand corner. I've gone, gee, there's a couple of big marks over there, Mitch. So I went around the other side of him, casted a mile with the Samaki MS40 in pearl shrimp, and just floated.
What is that?
It's just a 40, just a medium diver hard body.
So new
Samakis that come out, like the MS40. Because the wind got up, when the wind was flat and there was no wind at all, the plastic was the go. It wasn't a hard body bite. But then when the wind got up and we got people went easterly and smacking into that edge, but just saw the left-hand side, I said, I'm going to cast this. It just slowly twitched it, just because I knew there was a bit of sooty weed down the bottom. And next minute, clonk. And I hooked into it, and I'm going, this thing weighs a bit, Mitch. And he goes, oh, yeah, it's probably just a 1 kilo, 1.2 kilo, it'll be right. And he kept flicking and fishing, and he goes, oh, let me know when you're near the boat and stuff like that. And I'm going, no, this thing's got weight, Mitch. I'm not really taking a bit of line that, but slowly get it in, and then halfway got it up, and it got up on the surface, and I've gone, and we looked at each other, and I can't swear here, but we've just gone, holy And Mitch goes, oh, I better put my rod down and grab the net. And it took a couple of runs, but wasn't going hard. No, I was only playing with 4-pound leader and got at the boat and put it in the boat and just looked at each other and high-fived. We laughed and high-fived each other. And I didn't think it was a 1.8. And then Mitch got the scales and weighed it, and it was 1.81. I've gone, wow, that's my PB, 48.
Yeah, that's what you say.
Yeah, we threw a 900 grammer out for that one.
So, and then
wow,
so that was about so 1 o'clock, and then we ended up getting a 1.5 after that too, with the same Samaki MS40. Just, yeah.
Wow.
That was pretty much our bag for the day. You know what I mean? We got a couple of squeakers and that on there, but then all of a sudden, the wind got up and we said, well, we've been only half an hour to go to get back, and it was pretty rough. We decided let's just send it back for the first day. And, yeah, we got about 5.4 kilos. We'll be right happy with that and see what happens. But, yeah, that's what happened the first day, really, pretty much.
I mean, that's great. And so you guys had a 1.2, and I think Connor and Josh, they had a 1.8. They would have gone, oh, this is big Bream.
Mm.
But, yeah, not
We
quite.
got them by 20 grams.
20 grams. That's fantastic. Are you both running sort of 4 pound leader? Is that sort of the line class you were using?
Yeah, so I think pretty much both run the Chinu Harris leader, 4 pound. It's certainly proven itself over the last couple of comps. Like, just such a good leader. No bust offs. It's got really good abrasion resistance, and yeah, I couldn't recommend it any higher. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very good. All right. So after day one, where did we say you're in? Probably 6th place?
Yeah.
Okay. And a kilo or so behind.
Mm.
Wow. Okay. So a bit of deficit to catch up. What were you guys thinking overnight?
Oh, look, we discussed and we said, look, in the end, we're going to stick to the same game plan. We're going to go to the bank where we know the fish are there.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, go back to the first day, we probably caught 20-odd fish on that first flat. You know what I mean? We just kept upgrading. But we knew we fish better when you got your bag. You know what I mean? We're confident. We've got our bag, and then all of a sudden we can go over to the bank where the big girls hopefully can play again on the second day. And I pretty much said, Mitch, soon we get our 5th, we're out of there. We're going to that bank. And so I'll say this bit and you can do the next bit, Mitch. So the first hour and a half, same thing, we were running the Hurricane 85 in sickle, okay, plastic, just around the weed beds and in the openings and open ground and that. And I had 4 by about 8:30, and this is funny. Mitch couldn't even get a hit.
Nah.
He goes, what am I doing? I had 4 and
I even grabbed his plastic at one stage. I'm like, nah, you're not telling me you've got the same weight as me.
Yeah.
Something's... I'm like, give me a look at that thing, will you?
So I had 4 on the go. Look, I hooked one up and then gave it to Mitch. He can weigh it in, and next cast, donk, another one.
Yeah, I was just way more.
He was way, and about 8:30, and I'm thinking in my head and going, Mitch, you going to do something? You're actually going to catch something? I'm going, all I want to do is catch my 5 fish and get over to that bank where the big girls want to play. And then, so it was in my head, there was a few other swear words going, but I can't say that. And then it was about, I said, look, hopefully we can get this 5th fish by 9 o'clock. Come on, let's go. We want to have 5 hours on our bank. We want. I mean, we knew there was a few boats on that. We didn't care what they were doing. And it was about 9:02, bang, I hooked in again, got the 5th fish in. And then we were going across and Mitch going, I haven't caught a freaking thing yet.
Yeah, I said you were 2 minutes late because you said we'd have it by 9.
Yeah, I know. I said, we'll have it by 9 o'clock. So we're going across and with the legend, just go across the other side of the bay. And no one was in our area. I said, you beauty. We're 5 hours on the end. I said, Mitch, you're going to get the next 5, mate. You're going to get the 5. You're going to get the 5 cracker ones, mate. You'll do it. And the wind got up, and so we decided let's go the hards. Let's go. He was throwing the eco gear.
Yeah, the SX40.
Yep.
SX48.
48.
Yeah.
And same one in 390.
Yeah, that greeny colour.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just kept throwing. I'll go throw a samagi. Rightio. It was my turn not to get a hit for a while. By 10:30, Mitch got rid of the 5. I put it in the bag.
Right.
And he put 6.2 kilos in the bag, just like that.
Wow.
I've just gone. I caught it. We're going across the bay. I caught it.
Yeah, it was funny how that.
It was funny how it happened, and I've just gone, what am I doing wrong now? Like, what the? All right, I'll keep netting, and then, yeah, look, when you got at 10:30, when you got 6.3 or 6.2 kilos in the bag, we're going,
yeah.
Well, he got his 4th in, and then I've gone, Mitch, we're going 5.8 or something, and I'm going, hey, Mitch, you know one of these big girls.
Yeah.
We could give this a crack. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what the other bloke's doing. Like, who knows if they get 5 kilos? And I'm going, come on, mate, you can do this because I can't get a fish. And
I was all, at that stage, it was just all about knuckling down.
Yeah.
not getting too ahead of ourselves, even though we knew we were going quite good, but it was just making the most of the time till the end and just concentrating, which I think that's something that we've really learnt over the last few years, like just to go to the end and focus and,
keep telling us to knuckle down.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's just keep working hard. Who cares? Yeah, we've got 5 fish, got good.
Yeah,
mate.
No matter what you got to try and push to get more.
Yeah.
But then, I was pretty happy I end up getting one of Mitch's fish out of the.
With it, one fish in the bag.
One out.
I think he got me by 20 grams.
Yeah, I got one out and I lost a pretty good one at the boat, and you got railed by an absolute donkey. We don't know how big it was, but this thing was. It took us, didn't it?
Yeah.
We were chasing it. In the end, the leader let go.
I think it
near a nick.
I think it might have brushed up against something. And,
it
broke off. But
wow, you would have been thinking about that fish on the way back, I'd imagine.
Yeah, we were. In the end, it didn't matter. But
I
think if we had got beaten by a little bit, it would have hurt a bit. But
we probably, I reckon, to be honest, and I reckon if those 2 fish, the one I lost and the one that you lost, we could have been pushing 7 kilos.
Yeah,
I reckon we lost. But like I said, we were thinking, geez, this could hurt us, but in the end, it didn't. So we're pretty stoked with that in the end.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's run back through some of the techniques. So you started off being successful on the Sprat 85. What did that look like in terms of a cast? Were you putting it into the weeds, or what was it like?
Well, look, you know, man.
Oh, yeah, it's really utilising the Garmin Live and finding the pockets in the weed and sighting the fish on the live and chucking into the pockets. So we're sort of working together. Scotty was at the front. He was sort of getting first pick at him, and then he was sort of telling me where to cast.
Sure.
Based off the screen. And, I think as a team we're starting to get quite used to being able to pull fish off the live.
Okay.
But, just really lightly weighted and, just chucking it out and a couple of flicks and then, bang, you're on. Yeah.
Just be patient.
Okay. And when you say really lightly weighted, what sort of hooks are you running in these?
I think we both run the Bait Junkie.
130.
Yeah, 1/30th, so fairly light.
In the covert or the jig head?
The jig head.
The jig head. Yeah, cool. Okay. All right. And then over the weekend, so Scott, you were using the Samaki, I think you said MX something.
MS40 in pearl shrimp.
Okay.
Yeah, a medium bib. So, yeah.
A medium bib. Okay. And what was that like? Was that like a twitch bait or you slow rolling or?
No, look, in the end, it is a bit of a twitch bait kind of thing, but it was just like slow rolling and just twitching a little bit, but going real slow with it.
Mm-hmm.
It vibed in the water so awesomely. You know what I mean? I've only been using it for a couple of months now, and it works awesome. Do you know what I mean? Like, in the end, I'll be honest with you, I love using Hurricane hard bodies, 50s and 40s and that I've got this hard body. But this thing works as good. Do you know what I mean? And that's the honest truth. It works as good. Do you know what I mean? It casts a mile, and do you know what I mean? It's just one of those things, you know what I mean? It's just, it just works well. And, you know what I mean? Being Samaki coming on board with me about 3 months ago and hit me up and stuff like that, you know what I mean? I haven't been really using too much of it. Like, even in the Vic Open rounds and stuff like that, I didn't use it. It wasn't that kind of bite. But when the wind got up on this type of day and that, and Mitchie using the Eco Gear 48, it's not a similar colour, but it's got that green, purple stripe sort of. It's like a prawn kind of look, which is called a pearl prawn. And just use it and just look, in the end, you got the majority of the fish, the big gills on the second day, but it got that big gill on the first day.
One on the first day.
And the 1.5 on the first day. And then got a couple on the second day, but just a few, you know what I mean? I've got plenty of squeakers on it, but just nothing like Mitchie got on his Eco 48, Eco Gear.
Yeah, okay. And Mitch, with your one, what were you sort of similar? Like you a twitch or a slow roll, or what were you doing?
Yeah, so it's pretty stock standard. Just throw it out, get it to the bottom, and get it mudding in the bottom as slow as you can. the areas we were fishing had a bit of like snotweed on it.
Mm.
So as soon as you picked up the pace, the bib would dig in too tight and it'd just pick it all up, and then the lure was not working properly.
Yeah.
So you really had to be patient and just get it down and wind it in slow and wait for the bite. But yeah, I think what also helped me was the running the Yamatoyo resin sheller.
Oh,
I think it's in 0.04, which I wasn't running that pre this, and it just allowed me to get the lure out a bit further. I just really noticed that I could get it out that extra 5 or 6 meters and just keep it in the zone for a bit longer. So that definitely helped.
Yeah, okay.
Another thing is in the scenario, those things, the two banks were different. The clarity of water was different. You know what I mean? Yeah, one side was a bit more murky water where the weed bed are, but on the other side where the flat was, it was like crystal clear water. You know what I mean? And just going slow, it just in front of their face. And, you know what I mean? At times we got hit nudges, didn't we?
Yeah.
That just didn't hook up. You know what I mean? Oh, missed it. Oh, damn. You know what I mean?
I know, Mitch, when you guys fished the Open, I think there was a bit of movement in where the fish were on from day 1 to day 2, I think. And like I wanted to see if it was sort of similar, whether the fish were in the same locations more or less in this final.
So we kind of knew that the area that was fished in the Open was going to get a bit of attention. We took a punt, which was going to the weed bed first to fill the bag, but keeping in mind that the wind was low in the morning.
Yeah.
And knowing that it's not easy to pull the fish off the bank where we knew the bigger fish were when there's no wind.
Yeah.
So we took the punt. We could have got there first. We had the boat to get there first. And people went there and they left. They were gone at 9 o'clock. And so every time a boat left, we'd look at each other and like, they're going. and then we got it all to ourselves after that, and the plan worked.
Everything just went to where we wanted it. You know what I mean? It just,
they say, like Scotty and I have had chats with people like Jamie McEwen and Mario Bukic and that, and they say when it's your time, it's your time. And I think on that second day, we both sort of felt that. Everything just fell into place.
Yeah, and it sounds like your tournament strategy worked exactly how you wanted it to work in terms of timing, but on another day it may not work. So yeah.
Oh, that's it. And we've played that game before as well.
All right,
pretty happy.
As you would be. All right. So look, as we said, you came back in with nearly 6.5 kilos, took it out by nearly 300 grams as well. So a nice little margin there. Tell us, what did you guys get to take home for first place?
So I think we got 4,200 to share.
Nice.
And we got Lawrence HDS 12 sounder each. Yeah, which is pretty good. And because Scotty got Big Bream, we got some JML Eco Gear, full bag of that, and a couple of rods each. So
wow, that's a nice haul.
Yeah.
I think we'll be fitting a grand final win. All right. Look, last thing before we shoot off, is there anyone that you guys want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
Oh, for myself, definitely Mal Eco Gear and Tony Show. Yeah, just thank him for committing to me, and I hope this has sort of given a little bit back. Love his gear. It's quality, a lot of old school stuff. And yeah, if you're going to fish Gippsland Lakes, make sure you get one of them SX48s in 390, I'll tell you.
Nice.
I haven't got one in my bag yet, I think. I've got a couple now. That bag,
you're not getting any. Who else? I have to thank Gabby, my partner. Just the amount of time spent away the last year or so. She's been really good. Will Thompson from Always Angling in Traralgon, he just helps me out with anything that I need. Fishing wise, I've got to thank Scotty. Yeah, we've spoken about getting this a heap of times and it's finally happened. So yeah, really happy. And yeah, probably yourself, Deethy, again. Love your podcast and love what you do. So yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, good to have you guys on. And Scotty?
Yeah, so first I'll start with letting big shout out to Samaki. You know what I mean? Probably Jamie McEwen had a bit of part with that, but thanks, Josh, for letting me come on board. You know what I mean? I'm probably still in probation side of things. Only been a couple of months. At times I think, geez, I haven't thrown much of the Samaki stuff in the last 2. It was probably the first time really on the weekend.
You hadn't been.
I haven't been able to do much fishing. So thanks to Smarky. Also my wife, Renee, for looking after the kids at home. And, you know, and she knows I love it so much, fishing. But, yeah, at times it does frustrate a little bit. But I appreciate her for supporting it and loving it. Another big shout-out, goes to Pete Brukel.
Oh, yeah.
We stayed at his we stayed at his house over the weekend, and it was so easy just to put opposite his house as the boat ramp and just put it in the lakes and just go straight over the Metung, and it's so much easier instead of driving around and all that. It was awesome. So big shout out to Pete and Kath, of course. But I think is big shout out to both Bill, who runs the Vic Bream, runs a great show, and in the end, and probably all the competitors as well. Do you know what I mean? It's a good bunch of community with the fishing side of things, and it's getting better and better each year. And big shout out to them, definitely, for all the competitors. You know what I mean? It's all banter and it's a bit of laugh at times and stuff like that. And yeah, but pretty much, yeah, appreciate everyone. So yeah, that's probably about it. You know what I mean? Samaki, MS40, Pearl Shrimp. I've got to thank that because it's caught my PB and got a 1.82 in there. It's probably pretty much made us win the grand final together. And
yeah,
probably another thing is Mitch. Like you mentioned, he's been so close, Mitch, a few times, and you know, man, I've been knocking on the door a few times too. But we just get that 5th, or we've led a few comps on day one and let it slip a few times, 5th and 6th, and that to actually put it together and to win our first comp together it's pretty cool. Seriously, love it. So
very good. All right, well, look, guys, as always, great to have a chat. Congratulations. I look forward to seeing how you guys travel into next year.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Thank you. All right. So there you have it. That is the Vic Bream Classics for 2025. What a great season. A lot of great results. Interesting bags and what have you. All right. In other news, the fly program. So as I record this, so it'll come out a little bit after, I'm just back off the fly program. And my recommendation to people out there is to go and attend this. It is a program where we did 2 things. First, we learned how to fly fish for those like me who didn't know how to do it. And then we had to focus on men's mental health. And for any guy, you're either had a problem, you're going to have a problem, or you're having a problem. Like no one's exempt from it. And this just gives you some of the mental tools to get through that. I'm not going to go into it anymore. All I would say is that, honestly, I would recommend it to everybody. So check it out at the Fly program. Okay, so other things to have a look at. If you're looking for a little bit more from the Bream Fishing Project, why don't you check out the collective? So you could look at breamfishingproject.supercast.com and come and join in. If it's only for a month to work out what it's all about, then that's fine. Or as many people do, come and stay for a little while, join in the challenges, and hopefully learn a bit more. All right, that's all I'm going to do for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to talking to you next week on the Bream Fishing Project. See you later.
Thanks for listening. Hopefully you were informed, inspired, and entertained. If you were able to learn something or just enjoyed listening, please consider subscribing and rate us on your favourite podcasting platform.